We do not do a history on how we got here so we can backtrack and fix it. People say, no, I don't want to go back in the past. I don't want to look back. No, let's just go forward. Well, guess what? There will be no going forward until you understand what has already happened behind you. That's why in African culture we have the symbol of the Sankofa bird, Sankofa, the Ghanaian principle of going back to fetch that which is useful. And I want to underline which is useful, because there's a lot you can study in black history. There's a lot you can study in African history. And I would even argue that too many of us are studying things that are irrelevant to our political economic time of day. I'm only interested in studying those aspects of black African history that can inform my strategy for the present. If it cannot inform my strategy and tactic for the present, it's actually useless, because I cannot live off the accomplishments of my ancestors. I have to live off my own accomplishments. I have to create a world for my children. And simply giving them a black history book and telling them they built the pyramids is not going to be sufficient when they ain't got clothes on their back, food in their stomach, or a roof over their heads.
Are you going to debate with Sarah, now excuse me if I pronounce this name wrong, Sarah Sudden Sadai? Or are you going to build with one another?
Nah, we may build with each other, but there will be no debates. You know, that's behind us now. That was 2016. It's the new year, 2017. So I'm moving forward in positive energy. But one thing I am going to do, and if there's anyone listening to your show who would like to be a part of this, they can let me know. I will be hosting a first annual International Black Consciousness Convention, and it's probably going to be held in New York City. First annual International Black Consciousness Convention, where everybody who's into black consciousness, knowledge of ourselves, improving our people, can come together in politics and engage one another and strategize and begin to build the reality that we need. Because one thing about the black consciousness movement, and of course, you know, I kind of supersede that and I deal with the whole black community, not just the black conscious community, but there's a lot of contradictions in black consciousness. And I would say the biggest contradiction within black consciousness today is that we largely operate just like the church that we claim is at the center of the problems that face black people. I mean, when you hear a lot of brothers and sisters in the conscious community, they condemn the church. They say the church got our people brainwashed, the church is taking out people's money. But how are we any better? I mean, if the pastor is pimping people by using the Bible, okay, then how is the conscious community any different if you're pimping people by using black history? I mean, at the end of the day, we don't have any solutions in place, nor does the church have any solutions in place. So how can you condemn an institution that you're actually imitating?
Okay. All right, second question. This is from Zach Heath. He wants to know, what does he think? What do you think about today's music and the downfall of the youth, if any at all? And
I believe. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It was just another small part. And they have a responsibility. Any responsibilities as an artist? Do any of these artists have responsibilities?
Yes, they do. And I'm tired of black recording artists evading responsibility, talking about they're not role models and parents should raise their own kids. That's a bunch of nonsense. That's a bunch of nonsense, because you want people to buy your albums and listen to them so you can get paid. So don't sit here and say parents need to be raising the kids when you're also raising the kids by putting out that despicable music. Now, I do take an issue with black parents, and this is something I'm clearly going to hold parents responsible for, not the community, and that is not policing the music that their children listen to. Black parents let their kids listen to everything. There's no reason a 7, 8-year, 9-year-old kid should be listening to gangster rap. Absolutely not. And I hear the excuses, well, I want my son to understand this and I want my son to understand that. Okay, well, let him listen to a couple songs. But to let him get programmed and indoctrinated with gangster rap by listening to it all the time, there's no way you're going to chalk that up to him simply learning about the world he lives in. That's nonsense. Here's the thing. Gangster rappers didn't create crime. They didn't create self-hatred. They didn't create misogyny. They didn't create mass incarceration. But guess what? They do glamorize it. They do advertise it, and they do promote it. And in so doing, you do contribute to the contextual climate that makes it more easy for those types of behaviors to be committed. There's 4 elements that are present in every single gangster rap song that you hear. I don't care who you listening to. They might have a different style. They might be from a different city. They may come with a different flow. Okay, it may have a different beat, but it's the same 4 elements. And those are conspicuous consumption. Okay, buying things that white people make is more important than anything else in the world. So you got to have the most expensive car, Louis Vuitton, Gucci rags, you know, everything got to be, you got to buy junk, garbage. They worship materialism. So that's number one. Conspicuous consumption. Number two, misogynistic behavior. Have sex with as many different women as you possibly can, taking no responsibility for them, and they still normally call black women to be with. So there is that misogyny. So you got materialism, misogyny, and then you have extermination. They glamorize killing other black men. They never talk about killing white folks. You never hear that. It's all about killing black folks. The whole rap song. It's all about conflict with other black males. And then the fourth thing is going to jail. They glamorize going to jail. You see? And those are four big issues that the black community has that our gangster rappers are advertising, condoning, and promoting. So there's no way you're going to tell me you're not responsible for the current climate of dysfunction in black youth when you are their role models, you are the people they listen to, and you have the greatest influence over them. It's true that when a rapper says, I'm only rapping about my reality. Okay, I can understand that. An artist is supposed to reflect the reality. But guess what? We had poets during the Harlem Renaissance, James Baldwin and Paul Laurence Dunbar and others. They didn't just reflect their reality. They also tried to promote a new reality that they wanted black people to buy into. So yes, you might read some James Baldwin, you might read some Paul Laurence Dunbar where they reflected the negativity of the hood. But then you'll read another poem or another book or another essay where they promote and project a new image for the black community. And that's where the gangster rappers have to be held accountable. They are not promoting and condoning and advertising a more constructive view of the black community.
Okay, all right. Dr. Umar, it's been great. You know what? This whole time, even though today is the last official day that President Obama will be in office, the inauguration is tomorrow for Donald Trump. Real quick, what is? I already know what you feel about Obama. So what do you feel about Trump?
Okay, three things that African Americans got to prepare for under Donald Trump. Thanks to Barack Obama and thanks to ourselves. When Barack Obama became president of the United States, we were still the priority minority in this country. For 43 presidents, we were the priority minority. Under Donald Trump, for the first time, because Obama's presidency, I consider that a transition period. So I'm going to say for Donald Trump, for the first time, black America, and you're talking since America has been America since 1776. About almost 250 years now. For the first time in over 250 years, you will no longer be the priority minority. Before, presidents had to deal with us. Before, presidents had to address us. Before, presidents had to say something for or against black folks. We were the priority minority. We were an issue that presidents had to define themselves against. Not any longer. We allowed Barack Obama to effectively take our agenda off the table forever. So, under this presidency, we have to fight to reclaim our priority minority status. We may be an invisible people. Ralph Ellison, again, one of our great writers, he talked about the invisible man, about being there and not being there. Well, during the Trump presidency, black people are going to become the invisible people unless we don't stand up and show out. Number two, under the Donald Trump era, you're also going to see a return of white racist nationalism like you've never seen it before. Okay, civil rights is out the window. Etiquette is out the window. We're going to deal with a lot more racial incidents under Donald Trump. And not because he's promoting it, but because he symbolizes a return to the old white America. And because he is the symbol of that, white folks are going to use that as the energy that drives their racist behaviors against black folk. And number three, it's the age of extermination. I really think we have to redefine who we are under the Trump era. If we are as we are now when Donald Trump leaves office, whether it's 4 years or 8 years, I think it would only be a matter of time before black people are completely exterminated. And I hate to say that, but this is a critical period for us. We are at a critical juncture in African history. We are at a point of no return where either we're going to stand up and do for self or we're going to go quietly to the cemetery as an entire people.